Welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included, everybody. Everything here at the Gorgani colony is going fairly well. We have water building up a little bit, mostly keeping up with the crops. We still not quite enough that we're producing a surplus, but it's keeping things going. We have plenty of food going. I cleaned up all the pipes so that all the filters are at the bottom, and we don't have any more pipe spaghetti going through our base. Move the gas filters to the bottom as well. They're all going up to their uh, respective places. I think the only one I'm missing, I didn't set up the natural gas one yet because I don't have any natural gas in the base, but I'll put that there, so just so we have it in case we have it in the future. Did explore a little bit farther out so we can see everything that's in the map. When we come back here, like I said, we're probably going to work on shifting some things around so that we can set up these volcanoes to turn this into a refined metal facility. But for now, we're just going to let this keep going, let it build up a food supply, let it see how the water does when these volcanoes or not volcanoes, slush geysers are both active. So, back on the main colony, we have finished the roof of the base so that we can make sure that no gases escape. And I've started building a ladder up so that we can start making scaffolding across to start building our rocket platforms. I'm not quite sure how to proceed on it. I'm going to have to mess around a little bit just to come up with a plan. I know that I'm going to want to put bunker doors up because eventually I'm going to have meteor showers that I have to deal with. But I have never done the space part of the game, so it's going to be a little bit of figuring it out and getting things set up that way. For the meantime, everything here is running well. Carbon dioxide keeps going down. The food count is up very high. Our water boiler has been working pretty well for a while now. I think that we should be okay with that for a while, but until it has the next little blip that I have to fix. But it's doing well. It's processing through a backlog of water. We're keeping up with our water supply very well. Our oxygen's nice and well. So we can stop focusing on anything in the base, just let both bases run themselves, and we can work on building up here and getting things figured out. Just this last little section to clear out. There is some shovels in here, so I think I'm going to try to capture them and put them in a cage and set up a little farm for them. We can start feeding them some of the regolith that we dug up until we have more coming in. So I'll come back once I have a little more of the scaffolding up here set up and have a plan for what we're going to do for going forward in the space exploration. So see you in a few minutes. Had a little bit of feedback that some of the game sounds were a little too loud, so I've turned them down a little bit. Hopefully now they are at a good level. Feel free to give me some more feedback if they are not. I completely forgot that we had made these new snazzy outfits for our duplicants to get the achievement. So I'm going to quick go through and put one on every one of our duplicants. I just put them in a... That one's already assigned. Okay, so that's how it works. Just put them in a storage bin just so that I could collect them from storage. Make it easier for me to put them on people. But we made a couple of each of them so that we had enough to get everybody into one of these fancy ones. So purple polyester can go to Ari. Classic cummerbund. Well, actually, this is going to show me the duplicants that are on the other asteroid also. I don't want that. Assign that to Demon. Snazzy red suit. We can go with Hassan is on the other asteroid. Look under skills would be easier. Oh, Devon is too. What did we say? It's Devon, Gunder, Hassan. Okay, so after Hassan. So they can come grab their suits while we're doing it. Do they go over here to change into their new... look, yeah, we got a few of them already in their new outfits. And that should be enough to get us our achievement, which is what we were making the outfits for in the first place. Oh, I got a lag spike going to the achievement screen. There we go. There we go. And nowhere to go. Nope, not auto. Primus is good. Everybody that's on... Yeah, I think that's everybody that's on this colony now has a fancy suit. So look at them all running around in their fancy new outfits. Wow. I think Waylanders is my favorite. Okay, so back to what we were working on. I have started building our rocket gantry up here and placing down our first rocket. It is a lot to figure out. I never even got into rockets during my first playthrough on the base game, and now they have all this extra added DLC stuff. So I'm going to just try to go through and get things situated and see if I can figure it out. It might not work because I might have to look some things up and figure it out to get it to work properly, but we're gonna try. So I think since this, I'm trying to set up this to be a research station in that we're gonna send up into orbit. That's our goal here. So I think the next thing I want to do, I'm going to want to add a battery module to our... Yeah, let's try that. It's going to be a very weird looking rocket, I think. And then we will add solar panel module above that. Will that work? Maybe. And then a nose cone. I have ceramic. Let's build it out of that. And steel. Let's find out if that is in fact a buildable or usable rocket. And as far as the gantries go, I think the gantries are just used so that you can make it so that you have a way for people to get across. So let's just try putting one right there and see how that works. I could be doing this completely wrong, not sure. The rocket I'm building is a steam engine rocket because steam is technology that I can produce. So this has a gas intake, so does the main rocket, so I'm assuming that's so I can fill it up with oxygen so that the people can breathe inside. We're going to just try to send just one duplicant into space and see how it goes. There's a few other things I'm going to need to do to make that work. One is going to be installing doors in the bunker wall or bunker tiles that I'm making so that we can actually launch it. But we also need to get some food that will be able to maintain in space without having storage, because I don't want to have to power it. So I'm looking into setting up what we need to make some berry sludge, which is food that will stay preserved. Barring that, we could do like pickled meal, so that because it'll last a lot longer. But we're gonna look at setting up a proper food setup for that. But we just want to get this built and get steam into it so we can test it out. I'm not sure if I can send a rocket up just unmanned, just to test out the launch and everything. I may try to do that too. So once we get some more things built and we have some testing we can do, I'll be back. Oh, also I added in another one of these gas pumps, and I just wanted to show it. This automation I've done many times now, but this is a good place to show it where it is. So what it does is this sensor detects the oxygen. As soon as it sends a no signal if it's anything other than oxygen, which means that it turns this pump on. I think the pump's blocked, but I'll look in that in a second. As soon as it detects oxygen, it triggers this filter gate. So as soon as it detects oxygen for 10 seconds, the filter gate will send a stop signal to the buffer gate. And as long as it continues to do that, the buffer gate will stop powering the gas pump after 200 seconds. But so basically, once this is all oxygen, as long as this stays oxygen, this stays off. Once it goes off of oxygen, it triggers this to reset so that it tries to detect oxygen for 10 seconds again. But if it doesn't, then this will still power the pump for 200 seconds just to clear out any residuals. That way you don't have the pump shutting on and off when there's like one tile moving back and forth. But so right now we have different gases that are tripping this. I think something is blocking the pipe. Probably just because I have too many things being pumped into one source. So this pipe goes all the way back down to the bottom of the map where it gets filtered out with everything else. Going through there fine. This I could probably get rid of. Yeah, it's just this pipe is backed up with a lot of stuff in it. So looks like hydrogen is not being filtered out correctly. So do I have a hydrogen? Maybe I don't. Maybe that's my issue. Because I've never had to filter it before. That's probably what the issue is. So I'll install that while we're waiting on the rocket stuff to get built, and then that will be working. So I'll be back in a few minutes. More changes. One, I added in this hydrogen filter down here. Redirected some of the pipes. I am connecting up the pipe all the way across the map to where our hydrogen pipe starts from, our little hydrogen producer here. So once that connects, the hydrogen will start getting filtered out. We can start filtering the gas coming down again. Another thing I noticed is that I kept having slicksters building up out here. And this door was down one more tile. So the slicksters were able to get up those two tiles, get through the oil, and then get out here. And then they would get stuck out there. just kind of a nuisance. So what I did was I raised that door up one, made the liquid lock a little higher. Duplicants can still get through there just fine. The other thing I'm working on here is, instead of having another liquid lock up here, I just put a sideways door through this ladder, so now they can go from this row up to the top. Duplicants will still be able to get through to do all their grooming tasks very quickly and easily. And I'm just draining this, well, I was draining this oil into this extra farm because it can get collected that way. Now we can mop that all out. This one's not going to be able to be mopped, but that's fine. I don't care if it sits there. We can seal this room back up. In fact, we should set that a high priority so that they do that before they finish all the mopping. Because otherwise we're going to have carbon dioxide spewing out. And I don't mind a little getting out, but I don't want a ton of it getting out. We'll remove all this here then, and then we'll just have this be the entry on this side. We'll probably do something similar on this side instead of having entries on every spot. We'll just put an entry down here and then seal it up that way. But that's it's fine the way it is for now. Everything's working great on that. I did have a bunch of issues with regolith that had fallen down over here blocking my oil. I hadn't noticed it, so I cleared that out. For now, I'm just getting rid of any of these shovels so that they don't build up any more regolith. When we decide we want to build a shovel farm, I can get shovels from the printer. It won't take too long. But you can see it even down here. I have a bunch of regolith that fell down with shovels in them, and so now there's a little family of shovels living on top of my building. They can be a bit of a nuisance because they can dig around into blocks and they spit out regolith, so I'm just getting rid of them as I find them for now. And that'll be fine. As far as the rocket goes, we have everything built now. I need to build a way to produce steam to fill the steam engine, and we need to build the inside of the Spacefarer module so we have a little temporary home for one of our duplicants. We also will need to build up the... a little awkward getting back out. We'll have to build up the resources so that we have a solid amount of oxygen in there and food in there so the duplicant can live, and we'll have to design it so that they have everything they need in there. It's not going to be a long trip for the first time because I'm just going to send it into orbit and bring it back, just so I can understand how it all works. Hopefully this will work the way it is, but the next episode, that's what we'll focus on, is getting this powered, getting the basics that we need inside the Spacefarer module so that the duplicant can take off into space. And in between, we'll continue working on building up our bunker tile wall to prevent any kind of asteroid impacts once we start having to deal with that. I don't really know the mechanics of that, so I'm not sure how that works, but we will see. So we'll just keep extending this out until we have the entire map marked off and building scaffolding so we can get around. Eventually we'll probably have multiple rockets on top of the base. We have plenty of space set for it. So I think that's going to do it for today's episode. The rocketry stuff is, like I said, is something I've never done before, so it's going to take some practice getting around. It's going to be me derping around through it. So if you have any feedback or advice, things I should try, feel free to let me know. But I am trying to just figure it out as I go, because I think that's a little more fun than looking it up and just following somebody else's tutorials on it. So alright, well, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.